Hello everyone. Since a lot of you has requested me that I should give you a complete analysis of the previous year question papers of MSc Botany Entrance Exam and then guide you for this exam with respect to the books, the strategy to prepare and so on. I have come up with this video. So in this video, I'll give you my complete analysis on what to prepare, from where to prepare, and what are the recommended books for the exam. So let's start with this video. Yes, how much you have to score? This is the first and foremost question, of course. As per the results of the previous year, we have observed that if you score 60 to 70% net correct answer, by net correct answer I am saying that there will be some negative marking also in your questions, where you will be tempted to do some extra questions which you are not 100% sure, and you may face the negative marking in that case. So if your net correct answer, that means your correct answer minus your negative marking, results to around 60 to 70% of the total questions, then you have a fair chance. And if it goes to 70 to 80%, then very good chance. And then if it is greater than or equal to 80%, then nobody will stop you to get a seat in the botany Delhi University Botany MSc Botany course. Yes, you will be like congratulated by all your family members and the friends and relatives, etc. Let's start with the 2014 question paper. So if you see this pie chart, and on the left hand side is the table, so you will see that in 2014 question paper the maximum question were from two sections. The diversity having almost 38 questions out of 150. Yeah, the 2014 question paper was having 150 questions. So this was like diversity was having around 38 questions. Then there was this angiosperm botany which was having around 32 questions. Then there was some mixture of recombinant DNA technology questions, tools and techniques in bioinformatics. Those questions were also like 5, 4, 6 something. But then another major chunk was contributed by ecology and plant physiology. And later on it was the cell biology, then molecular biology, genetics and genomics, and so on. So if you see on the table, you will find that the least question were asked from biostats in 2014 question paper, that was 0. So none of the question was asked from biostat. And generally if you see the pattern, biostat questions are rarely asked in the exam. Then comes this bioinformatics. Yes, bioinformatics questions are also very rare. They generally ask you the since bioinformatics is largely practical based, so they generally ask you question on the type of database or some software used to analyze the nucleotide or protein. Like they will give you 4 options and they will say that which of these software is used to analyze the protein sequence. So out of those 3 will be for the nucleotide and 1 will be for the protein, and so on. So you don't have to worry for that. So as you see that the major chunk was actually in 2014 question paper, it was diversity and angiosperm botany, followed by evolution, ecology and plant physiology. In 2015 question paper, again diversity, angiosperm was on the top, then the diversity, then ecology, then plant physiology, and then there was the portion of genetics and genomics was increased in 2015 question paper. You can take a screenshot of these slides so that you will later on analyze on your own. Although there was no question again from biostats. Cell biology, okay, there was around 8 questions. Molecular biology also 8 questions, and plant physiology there was 13 questions. Diversity was having 29 questions, and angiosperm botany was having 34 questions. So this was this is like always they are giving more. This is MSc botany, of course, so they are giving more weightage to angiosperm botany and diversity. The diversity includes everything like virus, bacteria, algae, fungi, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms. Next, in 2017 question paper, 16 question paper I have not found, therefore you will not found the solution video on my channel also. So if all of you by any source can arrange 2016 question paper for me, I'll give the analysis of that question paper also, as well as I'll solve that complete question paper. I'll make video on that question paper also. So if by any sources you people can get the 2016 question paper, please give the link in the description of this video. So let's start with the 2017 question paper. So in 2017 question paper was also not an exception. The angiosperm, botany and diversity was there, but then now the question numbers were 100 only. So this question paper was largely balanced. Like there were good amount of question in molecular biology also, genetics and genomics also, cell biology also, and so on. In 2018 question paper, again diversity and angiosperm were on the top, but then plant physiology took the charge and it was on the third position. Then there was almost equal contribution by biochemistry, ecology, cell biology, genetics and molecular biology, and then there was some question from evolution and bioinformatics also. See, in evolution they are always asking about like ortholog, paralog gene, then sympatric, parapatric speciation, and like this the cladogram, phenogram. So that questions you can also study in bioinformatics also, and they are also covered in a syllabus of genetics and genomics. So like it is a mixture of question. Like you can, if you are good, if you covered the whole genetics and genomics part, you can also cover the question which were asked in evolution part, or you can say in the bioinformatics part also. Next, in 2019 question paper, angiosperm botany was the major contributor. Like 36 questions were asked, and I remember the topper actually topper got around 63% correct question. Like 63 was the merit list for the topper. So like in angiosperm botany itself there were 36 questions. Then there was question in diversity, it was around 17 questions. Then we have plant physiology, molecular biology, genetics and genomics, ecology contributing almost equal. And then there was no question on recombinant DNA technology and biostate as well. In 2020 question paper, again the angiosperm botany, they are giving a lot of like preference. So please from whatever source you are reading, just go through this angiosperm botany complete. And the angiosperm botany include the taxonomy part, the morphology, anatomy, the economic botany and the reproductive biology wala part. So just go through all those questions and the sections completely, because it is the major contributor for the question. Then there was this diversity and then plant physiology. And so if we just compare all these year, like 2014, 15, 17, 18 and 19 and 20, you will find that the diversity and angiosperm botany was the major contributor. You can take a snapshot of this slide also, so that you can just see. For example, the blue bar, the sky blue bar is of 2014 question paper, the orange bar is of 2015, the gray bar is of 2017, the yellow bar is of 2018, and the blue bar is of the 2019, and then green bar is of 2020. So you can easily deduce. And still, if you are not okay with this graph, then this bar graph, then you can just see this table, and you will find that for example, cell biology, if we see, they generally ask question like from 2014 to 2020, they are actually reducing the question like 11, 8, A6, 1, 6. But listen to me carefully, this is not a hard and fast rule. We are just giving we are just analyzing the pattern of the question paper, how many questions were asked. And so just don't stick to it that okay, cell biology is giving less preference. It completely depends on the examiner. But since it is MSc Botany Entrance Exam and not MSc Biochemistry or something related to cell biology, so obviously cell biology, genetics, genomics, molecular biology, they will be given less preference compared to the angiosperm botany, plant physiology, diversity and so on. So you will see that in the evolution also very less questions were asked. In plant physiology, you will see the question were good, like around 14 questions were asked in 2020. In diversity, you see the question number decreased, but then okay, the other sections were contributed. And then in angiosperm botany, we have 32 questions. Then by 32 question in 2020. In 2020 14 also 32, then 34, then 21, 24, 36, 32. So angiosperm botany is always the major part. Then we have bioinformatics. Very rarely they ask some question. These days they are not even considering it at all. The tools and techniques, one or two question from microscopy or some agarose gel electrophoresis, or something from this thing, southern blotting, western blotting, and so on. And this biochemistry, yes, they are asking some core biochemistry question on amino acids, and largely depending upon amino acid chapter as well as the enzymes chapter. And then in biostats, yes, again there was no they are like, the number of questions are very very less or almost absent. Biotechnology, they are asking from plant tissue culture, the production of virus free plant and the herbicide resistant plant, the various transgenic crops that like flavor saver tomato, golden rice, and so on. And in ecology, they generally are more concentrated towards this the sustainable development, the environmental pollution, and like WCD, World Conference for this environment or something like that. So they are like in ecology also, they are not more concentrated to the concept like this food chain, food web, and so on, but they are more concentrated towards like some anatomical adaptations for hydrophytes, xerophytes, and so on. Let's see how to prepare now. What is the syllabus? So first of all, you have to download the BSc Honors Botany syllabus. The old one if you are appearing for the year 2021, but if you are seeing this video after 2021 exam and appearing after 2021, that means you are appearing for 2022, 23, 24, and so on, then please follow the new syllabus. So from where you will get this syllabus, I'll provide you the link of the syllabus in the description of this video. In the syllabus, you will find the syllabus for both the theory as well as practical. So you have to go through both the syllabus. Like in the practical, if they are asking about DNA isolation, just Google. If you are not from the Delhi University, you are from another university, just Google the process of DNA isolation, how it is done, what are the techniques, what is the reason of using different chemicals, and so on, because the questions are generally asked from the practical syllabus also. Like if you have seen my previous videos of solution of various previous year questions paper, then you will be definitely observing this, that there was some questions from the practicals also, where I was explaining that this thing you might have done in the practical, and so on. So yes, I'll be providing the link of the syllabus in the description of this video. And you have to completely stick to the syllabus, because each and every question is asked from the syllabus. They are not at all going beyond that. And of course, one or two or like 3 or 4 questions are exception, but then merit is also going around 60%, 70%, 80%. So you can easily skip those questions, because those questions, if you attempt by chance, you will have a 50% of percent chance of getting them wrong, and you will just contribute to negative marking to your score, which is not good at all. So next, let's now analyze the various section. Like I was saying that the major chunk was given by diversity. In the diversity also, which unit was more important? Like if you see the syllabus of Delhi University, then you will see these virus, mycoplasma, lichen. Also you are studying bacteria, you are studying algae, fungi, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm. And if you just analyze the whole diversity section, you will find that from 2014 to 20, just see in the table also, or you can see in the graph, there was some questions on virus, mycoplasma, and lichen. Lichen, they are always asking about a very basic question on pollution indicator as lichen, or some lichen as a source of iodine or something like that. Like economic importance of lichen, they are asking. Mycoplasma, rarely there is a question, but from virus they are always asking about the phytopathology. Like they will ask also, they are sometime asking about the genome structure of virus, like the most common virus like tobacco mosaic virus and some of the very common viruses. But then they are more concentrated about the symptoms that are caused by virus, like phytopathology of virus. The virus disease, the tobacco mosaic virus disease, is the most commonly asked question in the exam. In the bacteria, they are most of the time asking about again, apart from the phytopathology area, where there are various plant diseases that are caused by bacteria, there most of the time they are asking about the cell wall structure of bacteria, the bacterial photosynthesis type, like sulfur bacteria, purple bacteria, and so on. they are more concentrated upon the reaction of bacteria towards antibiotic. Like if I am not wrong, there like it's like 3 times they have asked this question in different years, and that which among the gram positive and gram negative bacteria resistant to antibiotics, and what are the various wall structure in the gram positive bacteria, or what is the difference between gram negative bacteria, and the questions are largely based on them. In the algae, they are asking about the pigments, the economic importance, and the economic importance, then pigment and habitat of algae they are asking. Then they are asking about the reproductive spores, and so on. In fungi, they are again concentrating more on the phytopathology, and some structures like myxomycetes life cycle they will ask, and they will ask about swarm cells, amoeboid cells, and so on. In bryophyte, they are asking about some like what are rhizoids, and then peristomial teeth, the dispersal of the spores mechanism, and so on. In pteridophyte, they are like aposporite, stellar system, and something from the evolutionary significance of Cooksonia and Rhynia, and so on. In gymnosperm, of course, they are asking about from the anatomy part, like and the vessels, the tracheids. Like gymnosperm has apps like this is your homework again. Out of vessel and tracheids, what is not present in gymnosperm, comment in the video section, in the comment section of the video. And they are also asking about some exceptional gymnosperm like Neetum, Ephedra, like they are asking about the double fertilization case in Neetum, and so on. So they are more concentrated towards like the anatomy part. There are questions from life cycle of Cyclospinus. They are more about the anatomy or morphology of Cyclospinus, and then they sometimes ask about the pollination types, and so on. So coming to the angiosperm section question paper, you can see the minimum question are asked from the morphology section, so you don't have to contribute a lot to the morphology, like do not spend much time on the morphology section. In the anatomy section, yes, there are good questions. They generally ask about tracheids, vessels, then stomata type also they sometimes ask, and so on. In taxonomy part, see, there are a lot of families. Just stick to the families that are given in the syllabus. They also ask about the botanical nomenclature type, and then they also ask about various herbarium, botanical garden, and so on. In the economic botany, last year they didn't ask any question, but they generally ask some question from economic botany, and in that most of the time the question is based on alkaloid or some medicinal plant, or some fruit, or like for example saffron is obtained from, and something like that. And reproductive biology is the major section, apart from the taxonomy. Reproductive biology is the second major section, I can say. Taxonomy, they ask a lot, like there are families. They will ask the characteristic structure of families, then various type of inflorescence condition they will ask, the like gynoecium and drusium peculiarities also they ask, and so on. And in reproductive biology, they are more concentrated towards the microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis, the types of ovule, the types of embryo sac, the pollen tube germination and development. So these are the various parts. And then comes the plant physiology. So again, there are less question from nitrogen metabolism part, but maximum question are always from photosynthesis and growth and development. Under photosynthesis, yes, C3, C4, CAM cycle, and so on. In growth and development, they are more concentrated towards the various kind of hormones, the phytochrome, the like response of plant to far red and red light, and so on. Then this plant water relationship, they generally ask about the water potential gradient. Some questions are on stomatal opening, the guard cell potassium hypothesis. And then in plant respiration, of course, in plant respiration I have included here, like I have separated it from biochemistry and cell biology, because generally we have in plant physiology unit we have this plant respiration there. So they generally ask about glycolysis, Krebs cycle, the various regulator and checkpoints of Krebs cycle, and how the proton pump actually is functioning, the alternative oxidase, the cyanide resistant respiration, and so on. Like if you are a student of Delhi University, you might be like correlating with what I am saying, because this was all your syllabus. But if you are not from Delhi University, just go through the PDF, which the link I'll provide in the description of this video. Just go through that PDF. Please stick to that PDF only. Like you just have to go through all the question, all the syllabus, the both the theory as well as the practical syllabus. So if I just classify the all these 2014 to 2020 question paper in a scale of tough, average, and easy, then and see, this is a very subjective thing, because it will depend on what type of student I am targeting of. I am considering that you have actually attended all the classes, you have listened to your teacher properly, and you have attended the practicals, you have attended the various explanation, whatever given on the practicals. You have sincerely done your practical, you have analyzed the results, and like you were continuously revising what was taught in the class. So if you have done this much properly and you are thorough with the syllabus, you have gone through the recommended books in the syllabus, then I'll consider you that like in 2020 82 questions were average. That means you will be like completely thorough with the average type of questions, and easy question of course, but tough question also. Like there are around 6, I can just say, like for example in 2018 19 20 there are around 6 questions. Then in the previous year the tough questions were more, but then they have slightly reduced the tough questions. So this tough, average, easy depends on what type of study you have done. So I consider that you have actually gone through the theory and the practical class thoroughly. You were sincere and dedicated to whatever was taught in the class, and hence the question will be, so this classification is based on these criterias. So in that case the average questions were around 82 in 2020, and easy question was around 12. So if you just leave the tough questions, like around 6 questions were, I can just classify as a tough question. So like it was very easy that you could have qualified it with a good rank, because almost 80% questions are average. So now we come to recommended books. First of all, I'll discuss the most loving strategy of you people, the shortcut strategy. But then this strategy is actually for 50 to 75 coverage of the easy and the average questions, not at all for the tough question, and lot of average questions also you cannot do. So step 1 is, this is the shortcut strategy. Step 1 is you just finish the botany part of the NCERT, and then in class 11 and class 12 you might have got some reference book, whether it is Pradeep subjective biology, or ABC, modern ABC, or any concise biology or something. So whatever reference book you got, so just finish the botany part from that also. And then step 2, you just get any medical entrance objective botany book, any, like whatever publication you already have is good for you, or if you don't have, just go to market and get a book, either it a old one or a new one, take from a friend, or anything you can do. My recommendation is GRB Objective Botany by Kumar and Malik, but this is not like I am not restricting you to this book. You can follow any objective botany book. So this if you do this much, you are good to go with the 50 to 75% coverage of the easy and average questions. So I'll just say that the above strategy depends upon the level of paper and your fellow aspirants. It may collapse if the paper setter strictly adheres to the bachelor syllabus, and the paper setter is not at all concerned with your class 11th and class 12th basics. So this the above strategy will completely collapse. If the question paper is strictly set on the bachelor level Delhi University bachelor level syllabus, then nobody can save you. This strategy will completely collapse. And your fellow aspirants are more botanists than you. So if it also depends that your fellow aspirants are more intelligent or more botanists, like they know more botany than you, then they will raise this merit to a level of 80 to 90%. And since this strategy actually allows to 50 to 75% coverage of the easy and average question only, so you will be out of the race. So we come to the next strategy. So next strategy is the short strategy for targeting 100% of the questions. And we all know that there is no alternative to hard work. And the ideal condition is that you have sincerely studied in each of the semester, listened properly to the classroom teaching, performed and understood your practicals properly, plus you have studied the syllabus from the recommended books thoroughly and revised it time to time. So this strategy is like considering you Lord Buddha, because none of the student is so punctual, sincere and dedicated that they will follow all this, because there are a lot of things. There are many co-curricular activities in which students are involved, which may hinder your preparation and studies. Then there are so many functions, the annual function, your fresher parties, your farewell parties, your official and unofficial trips to various places, which may cause a serious effect to your this ideal condition studies. So what we will do, so that's what I have written, three but. So what should you do? So this is, so let's go to another strategy. So if you are not sincere throughout all the semester, all the 6 semesters, you were not punctual, you were not punctual to the classroom studies, but you are a good student, I'm considering you a good student, but since there were so many distractions, so you didn't follow the proper classroom study, you didn't perform all the practicals well, you did the last minute strategy for completing the practical file, you did the last minute studies for the next day exams, and you came up with a flying color still because you are a good student. So right now you are left with suppose 2 or 3 months of preparation, and you want to cover all of the botany which you studied in all the 6 semesters. So first of all, you have to take any medical entrance objective book. Again, my recommendation is GRB Objective Botany by Kumar and Malik. This book is sincerely good. I am not at all see in the next slides you will be finding some books as well as this book also. I am not at all advertising this book, or I am not at all related to any of the author or anything. I genuinely like this book, that's why I am advising you for this. So this book you have to cover completely, plus the books recommended in the next slide. So what are the books recommended? These are the books which we are going to see are the books recommended which are already written in your syllabus. But then in the syllabus, there for one unit or for one paper there are many books, out of which I have narrowed down completely, and like there is one book for one topic, not more than that. So let's see. So for cell biology, you have to go through the textbook by Cooper, The Cell, A Molecular Approach. The normal questions, if you expect like who discovered the Golgi bodies and what are the various function of Golgi bodies, that will be covered in your objective botany book, that will be covered completely. But now the questions are generally asked a little bit advanced on the undergraduate level. So in that case you have to follow this book for the cell biology. The part 1 consists of the introduction, the part 3 consists of cell structure and function, and part 4 consists of cell regulation. So in this book, if you just see this book in the index, you have to follow the part 1, part 3 and part 4. You don't have to go through the part 2. Part 2 is the molecular biology, that you have to cover from Leringer Principles of Biochemistry. Now you will be amazed, because in Delhi University or anywhere, students are more inclined towards the molecular biology of gene, the book by Watson. But the issue is that that book is very vast, and I feel that that book is apt for post graduation study, like MSc master's study. For undergraduate level, whatever is given in unit 3 of Principle of Biochemistry by Leringer, that is more than enough that is complete molecular biology in my views. So if you want to do molecular biology from Leringer principle of biochemistry, you have to follow the chapter 8 of nucleotide and nucleic acid, and then complete unit 3, which is named as information pathway. So here in this slide, so your cell biology is completed, the part 1, part 3 and part 4 from Cooper, and from molecular biology you have to finish the unit 3 information pathway from Leringer principles of biochemistry, along with chapter 8 nucleotide and nucleic acid. For the genetics and genomics, you have to follow this book, Principle of Genetics by Peter Snustad and Simmons. If you are doing the molecular biology from Leringer, then please avoid chapter 9 to 13 of this book, so that you just do not do multiple study of the same topic, because chapter 9 to 13 in this book also relates to molecular biology. But yes, I will say that the molecular biology in this book is also very good, and like this will completely solve your purpose also. So like if you don't want to study the molecular biology from Leringer principles of biochemistry, you just can continue the genetics, genomics and molecular biology from this book. So but then in that case you have to read the whole of this book. See, I am not advising you to read the book from cover to cover, so you don't have to read it from page number 1 to page number to the last page. The thing is that you have to take this book and you have to see the syllabus of Delhi University. Only the topic that is given in the syllabus, only that you have to find in these books, and just don't go for cover to cover read, because that will be inhuman. Like it won't be humanly possible for you, not even for me also. Like I also go for any, like if I get confused in some topic, or if I want to revise some of my topic, I just go to some book and just read that topic only. So please avoid reading any book from cover to cover. Just read those topics which are given in the Delhi University syllabus. Next is the evolution. So we already saw that the questions are very less from the evolution, and that can be covered in the genetics and genomics part also. They generally ask the question from phenogram, cladogram, dendrogram, or some ancestral history or speciation. So that is covered in the genetics and genomics syllabus also. So the cost benefit analysis in terms of time spent to cover this book, and then the amount of question you will do is very less. So you can avoid the evolution part, but still I'll say if you have the ample amount of time and you have covered everything, then just go, you can do this evolution part from organic evolution by Dr. Veerbal Rastogi. And then comes the plant physiology, of course, one and only plant physiology by Lincoln Tej and Edward Giger. And again, read all topics of the syllabus from this book. No need of reading this book cover to cover. Just you have to read the syllabus and see those topics in this book. Please don't read, because you will not be able to read this book from page number 1 to to the last page. I'm not challenging you. This is something stupid that you will do. It will just waste your time. So just read only the topics of the syllabus from this book, nothing else. Next is the bioinformatics. Bioinformatics also, this is the book Bioinformatics Principle and Application by Ghosh and Malik. Read all topics of the syllabus from this book. Don't read cover to cover. Then we have the biotechnology and recombinant DNA technology and tools and techniques. So for this, any of these two books, see, there are many foreign author books that are mentioned in the syllabus of Delhi University. Like if you see the PDF, you will find the university syllabus has given a lot of foreign author books to read these topics. But I simply recommend these books. These are very simple written, and this covered the complete syllabus. Like you will find all the topic of this biotechnology, recombinant DNA technology and tools and techniques in this book. So either you take BD Singh Biotechnology Expanding Horizon, or you go for this An Introduction to Plant Biotechnology by H.S. Chawla. Either of the book will serve your purpose. The only techniques that is not mentioned in these book is the microscopy. For microscopy, you have to go through this book by Principle and Techniques of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. Just read the microscopic part from this. The book is by Wilson and Walker. So again, I'll just suggest you don't go for the cover to cover read. Just read all the topics of the syllabus from this book. Next we have biochemistry. Yes, one and only the Laringer Principles of Biochemistry. But then again, I will tell you to read only the unit 1 of this book, nothing else. The unit 2 is a lot of, like, it goes through the synthesis of metabolism and so on, but then that will become very cumbersome for you, and the question are generally asked from enzymes and amino acids and so on. So that will be covered from unit 1 of the Laringer Principles of Biochemistry. Then ecology, yes, you can read your syllabus, whatever topic are given in your syllabus from this PD Sharma, ecology and environment. Your teacher might have suggested you stealing epiodum and all, but again, I keep my strategies simple and straight. This you have to read, and this will cover most of the syllabus of your recommended syllabus of Delhi University. So then we come to angiosperm. So angiosperm, again, they have asked a question from embryology, the taxonomy, the anatomy, economic botany. So any of the first two book, and the embryology you have to read from Bhojwani and Bhatnagar, because in embryology they are actually asking question from even meiosis and the crucial part of megasporogenesis, the ovule, the embryo sac, like they are going the callose deposition in pollen grain, in anther and so on. So like they are asking more from the more deeper areas of this embryology of angiosperm they are exploring. So please devote your time for this Bhojwani and Bhatnagar. Rest, whatever topic of the syllabus you have from angiosperm, just read from these above, the first and second book. You can take either of them, or you can just consult both of them. Just keep syllabus aside and then just see what all topics are there and just find the topics in this book, from this book. For the taxonomy part, you can refer Plant Systematic by Gurcharan Singh, and for economic botany part you can refer the SL Kochar. Again I will say, don't read the book cover to cover, just read the topics of the syllabus from these books. In diversity, again there is a whole lot of series of book you will find either in your library, or I will say that purchasing book is always the best thing you can do to yourself. So you can just purchase these books from any bookstore or online or whatever link you have. So in this again, you don't have to read these books cover to cover, because I guess I have given you a complete catalog of 15 to 20 books. You don't have to go all of them. Just read whatever is given in your syllabus from these books. So these are the series of books from S. Chan. They have a separate book on algae, fungi, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, and then microbiology. But yes, again the same thing. If you don't have to want to buy these many books, then you can just shift to either of these books. They consist of everything from microbiology, algae, fungi. Like this is a complete compendium. The left one or the right one, they have everything on microbiology, algae, fungi, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm. Read any of the, like you can buy the upper panel, or you can go for these books, either of these books, but just stick to the syllabus again. So the book is by Anil K. Thakur and Sushil K. Bassi. This is a very good textbook for the diversity part of BSc first year by the first year syllabus recommended by UGC. Or on the right hand side is the very familiar book. I think most of you might be knowing this is a textbook of botany by Singh, Pandey and Jan. Just read all the topics of the syllabus from these books. Then we have this worked out shortcut with few of my students. Like since last 2-3 years I am listening that few of my students from my WhatsApp group or from my my class, they actually referred these books by B.B. Pandey. This is the College Botany 1 volume 1, 2 and 3. They just stick their preparation to these books only, and somehow the strategy has worked for them, because the merit was around 60 to 70% of the total question. So again, if you are left out with less amount of time, and like if you want a single dependence on single book only and don't want to consult from n number of books, then you can just stick yourself to College Botany volume 1, 2 and 3. This covers all the syllabus of the Delhi University or any UGC approved BSc Botany syllabus. But again, I will suggest you that just read whatever I have suggested in the backslide from various books. Consult Leringer, Cooper, the Snustard Simmons, because and then this B.D. Singh, H.S. Chawla, Wilson Walker, Tools and Techniques, because the question paper is actually based on a little high, like the level of questions are little higher in those areas, and you will be not you may or may not be able by reading these three books. So better go for whatever strategy I have told you in the backslide. But again, if you are referring these three books, then just please read all the topic of the syllabus from these books. You don't have to read them again cover to cover. So in the end, I will say, if you have read everything from the theory, just check your knowledge by practicing more and more questions. Arrange questions from anywhere, get it from internet, getting from some coaching modules, from your friends, from your teachers, from anywhere. But then yes, you have to practice and practice and practice. Like the more you practice, the more you will be familiar with type of questions asked. Of course, I have given you the solution of all the question papers in the previous videos, but again, explore more of the YouTube. You will find more of the videos of other people. My aim is that you should at least do 5,000 questions related to all the sections of the botany before you sit in the exam, so that you are very much familiar with the question pattern. Also, I will suggest you that this is the age, this is the time, and this is the course that you are provided with a specialized teacher in your college who teaches you a particular unit or particular paper. That teacher is actually specialized in that paper. So please do not hesitate to ask as many as question and queries from that teacher, because this type of luxury of asking your query to the teacher is not available at higher level when you will be doing masters, or you will be going for a higher research. So this is the time when you can even ask them that why DNA is double stranded and why RNA is single stranded, and so on. Like even the basic questions also are expected from you along with the specialized question. So please just ask questions from your teacher. Please do not hesitate. Don't think that what the teacher will think, that if you ask a very low quality questions. None of the question is low quality or high quality in front of teacher. In the eyes of teacher, all of you are same. The main aim of your teacher is that you should understand the topic. So if you ask a simple question also, the teacher will come to know that okay, this thing you are not understanding, and by any ways the teacher will of course try to solve your problem. So please do not hesitate to ask questions from your teachers, from your college teacher, which is already provided to you from the college. So in the end, I will say that we all have dreams, but in order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline and effort. I'll wish you all the best for your exam. And if you find any mistake or if you like the video, please do comment. Please like the video, comment and subscribe to appreciate my work. You can also share this video with your friends who are also willing to prepare for MSc Botany. You can also share this video among your juniors group who will be appearing next year or next to next year, or whenever they will be eligible for the exam. And please stay tuned for more upcoming solution and concept videos useful for various MSc entrance exams related to biological sciences.